The break is officially over. It is time to get back to work. The FIBA 3x3 World Tour is open for business as we open the season for the fourth straight year here in the incredible city of Utsunomiya, Japan, for this FIBA 3x3 World Tour Utsunomiya Opener. Top 10 teams in the world, 12 teams in the field. They are set for 2 days of action. Weather is pretty good. A little bit of an overcast, slightly chilly here in Japan, but perfect conditions for the players to put on their best performance here in front of a nearly packed house here in front of the Futa Arayama Jinja Shrine, a familiar location in FIBA 3x3 history as we kick off this 14th FIBA 3x3 World Tour. We are ready for episode 1 of another season that we expect to be an absolute movie. We'll get into the matchups, we'll get into the players to watch all of the good stuff in a bit, but we'll take a trip back quickly. Have a seat, classes in session. The rules of 3x3.
Hey, we love 3x3, yes we do. This fight hard, yes.
Yo, what's good? My name is Kyle Montgomery, AKA the voice of 3x3. And if for some reason you still don't know the rules of 3x3, it is time to tap in. Class is officially in session. So on our half court, you've got 2 teams of 3 players with 1 additional substitute on the bench. Yo, what's up, sub? Can I check in? In 3x3, even the ball is different. This is the official Wilson right here. Trust me, it's groovy, baby. This game is pedal to the metal. 10-minute game clocks, just 12-second shot clocks, and a 1st to 21 scoring format for the win. If a team doesn't score 21 points, all they have to do is outscore their opponent within 10 minutes. And you know we keep it street. In this game, we score by 1s and 2s. Anything inside the arc is worth 1. Anything outside of the arc is worth 2. Still got it. And this game is all gas, no brakes. Literally, after the opening check ball, play is continuous. Make or miss, offense turns to defense, just like that. This 10-minute sprint is just getting started. We'll see you at the top.
All right, you have now learned the rules of 3x3. Plenty of pop quizzes, so to speak, to come today with 12 games on the slate. There's a look at our venue. You're probably wondering who the voices are in your ear right now. The voice so far. It's me. They actually call me the voice, Kyle Montgomery. And let me hear your voice.
Hello.
That's it. That's Boz the Mountain Rosendahl. We are back in Utsunomiya, Boz, another year. Good to be back with your partner.
Very, very good to be back with you. 2nd year in a row for me, you know, being on this opener with you. And look, I'm excited, man. Top teams in the world. The season's starting off again, you know.
Yeah.
You look fresh and a little bit cold. You're showing a lot of thigh for the weather out here. So, yeah, we're starting the season off right.
Shots fired already. Here's the entire look at the season schedule. 15 events, including this season opening event, and of course culminating with the World Tour final that's coming up all the way in November. We got a long season ahead of us, a lot of highlights, a lot of memories to be created as we head into this 2025 season. As we set our sights on this particular Masters, here are the previous winners. All the way back to 2016, I've been fortunate enough to call every Utsunomiya Masters. It's been the opener for the last 4 years, but you can see that Serbia has dominated the competition until last year, where Miami snatched the crown here in Utsunomiya. Prior to that, it was UB going back-to-back, and back in the Novi Sad days were dominated as well. So the question is, will we see a new winner this year, or will the Serbs find themselves back on top? We kind of chatted about this in our podcast, Word on the Streets. By the way, check that out, y'all. And Boz was not completely ready to make a prediction, but I wonder if he's ready now.
Look, I think UB is going to come out and they're going to be pissed, right? Last year wasn't the year they expected it to be. They didn't get an Olympic medal. They didn't win the World Tour finals. They won the most Masters on the World Tour, though, so they still showed they got it. I think they went into the offseason pissed off, trained hard. I think they're going to come out here, and I think Dejan Majstorovic might pick up his 6th title.
Well, they were one of few teams that actually kept their name from a year ago. We got, some new look squads, some roster shakeups this offseason. Teams formerly known as, with some new names. We'll get you familiar with all of those, including Team London, formerly known as Princeton, Team Toulouse, formerly known as Paris. You see them in Pool B as you can look at all the groups. Good time to remind you guys that top 2 from each group advance to tomorrow's quarterfinals. Speaking of advance, Tennoz, SCCEXE advanced from the qualifying draw. Congratulations to them. We'll see them in Pool D action today, where they'll have to do battle with Amsterdam. That should be fun.
Yeah, tough matchup for sure. Tennoz plays really fast, though, so we'll see if that has an effect on what Amsterdam wants to put out on the court. We'll see it right now, actually.
Did you see that crossover in the QD where?
Yuck.
Why did they call it like that? That's a top 10 worthy ankle breaker. I mean, all time already.
That's to start the year.
That was vicious. Make sure y'all follow us at FIBA 3x3 on the gram to see one of the most devastating ankle breakers you've seen in your life. I promise you. All right, let's get this season started, shall we? And we introduce you to a team you should be familiar with because they won the World Tour final last year, and last out is the World Tour final reigning MVP, Olympic MVP, Worthy de Jong with Brian Alberts. Also, Olympian Jan Driesen and Martin Balconnect, the plug, the connection, the new ad on this Amsterdam team, who also have a new sponsor, I should mention, RABOBANK.
There you go.
So Amsterdam RABOBANK in the all-red threads on the court first here. Now their opponent out of the QD, as I just mentioned, Tennoz. I'll shorten it for him. Their team representing here in Japan. And Boz has got him picked as his favorite in this matchup. I don't know why, but...
See, you're starting already. I like Tennoz, though. They came out of the qualifying draw, and they played well. Look, they beat Hiratsuka Seaside Exi 21-17. Then they lost a 1-point game to Sagamihara Hui Exi. But this team plays with speed. They play with poise. Not sure if they can stand up to Amsterdam when it comes to height, but I'm sure they can match him in heart.
See, he just hit him with a little jokey joke. I caught it. Talking about the vertically challenged Tennoz team. Not just height, experience, even skill. Obviously, Amsterdam come in as one of the powerhouses from a year ago, but we've discussed this ad nauseum. They do not have an all-time Dutch great in Arvin Slaughter, who retired this offseason, and got a chance to see him in Baoding, and they lost in the semifinals there. It was something I wasn't really impressed with their performance. Also got to look at them at the start of the year at the Champions Cup. And while they may be the defending champions, they're going to have to prove it. I don't think that anybody's afraid of Amsterdam with this squad yet.
Look, they have some tough questions to face, right? Arvin Slachter was a multifaceted player. Not only was he a good shooter, he was also a good screener, filled multiple roles on the team as far as physicality. And then also, he was an extension of the coach on the court, right? So he had that coaching role. Who's going to pick that up now? With the replacement, we'd say, for him, with Bouwknecht, you would expect Amsterdam to be at a higher pace, shoot more twos. I didn't see much of that in Bouding, but, you know, Maarten Bouwknecht did have some back spasms, so he didn't play day one. He was limited day two. I'm curious to see whether they can up the pace. And again, against this Tennoz team, they want to play at pace. Well, so that might just be, you know, in the Japanese favor.
Well, naturally, you said who's going to be the coach on the floor. It's got to be the most experienced player on the team, right? Jan Driessen.
Jan Driessen, now the longest tenured player on Amsterdam. Would have thought we'd arrive here. He's been around since 2021. All the other players have joined this 3x3 circuit afterwards.
Yeah.
We're now a long ways away from my playing days. I think it's the second generation after I quit playing, so I feel old.
Well, time flies when you're having fun. But that was when you broke that to me earlier. I said, wow, Big Drizzy is the most tenured player on Amsterdam's team now. That's a tip of the cap to Big Drizzy. And here we go. FIBA 3x3 World Tour 2025 open for business. The voice of 3x3, Kyle Montgomery in your ear with Bonds Rosendahl, a delectable dish. Tennoz putting on a show to start things off.
Yeah, their speed showing off right away in that pick and roll combination. Amsterdam didn't switch that crisply. Tennoz up 1-0 because of it.
Oh my God, that pass was crazy. That pass was crazy. I can't wait for the replay. I wasn't ready for that. Just the first 15 seconds. Take that back. Bouwknecht gets swatted and then took to the crib. Oh, Worthy, that ain't even fair. New hair, by the way. Uh-oh. A little slippage going on out there. Can't hold on to the ball. The Pink Panther. You remember the Pink Panther song?
I do.
Can I hear it?
Right? Was that it?
No.
Oh, shit. I try. Look, that's a cartoon from a long time ago, though.
It's...
Okay, so now I remember it.
So the Pink, yeah, Worthy's the Pink Panther in this one.
Okay.
And his team currently looking at a 1-point deficit. Ooh, Tennoz with the quick dribble drive. And the kick out does not lead to a bucket. Worthy will get it clear. Got a whistle. From our official up top. Brigitte Chemai Koshkatu. Vladimir Veskovic on the baseline. Here we go. Minute in. Starting with Pool D action.
Yeah, that's a little different, huh?
Yeah, normally we start in A on down. Big Drizzy to the crib. And a strong finish from the Olympian. Gold medalist, in fact. So Tennoz, SCCEXE. Out of the QD, trying to make some noise against Amsterdam, the defending champs, to start this 2025 campaign. Minute 30 seconds in. Worthy operating from the elbow. He's being pestered up top. He's going to force it up, misses everything. And I don't know, is it just me or does Amsterdam come out a little bit nonchalant in this opening?
It might be nonchalance. It might also be you having to adjust to playing against a squad with shorter players that are all upon you, right? This Tennoz squad, again, very tenacious. They are right there defensively. They got a big two here as well. But I remember from my playing days, it's tough playing against a squad like that because they're always right there. They are never away from you on the defense.
They got a bunch of golden snitches on this team. They are quick. Hard to keep up with them. And that last play is indicative of that, as Worthy is whistled for Amsterdam's second foul. Couldn't keep up on the baseline. Up top, it'll go for Shinji Naruse. We'll start things off. He'll swing it. Three-man weave action. Quick hands from BA. Ryan Alberts, who came on last year for Amsterdam. Saw him in 5 events. He's going to be counted upon heavily for Amsterdam this year, and that one is airmailed out of bounds. A early 4-2 start for Tennoz.
Yeah, and this Tennoz squad has been together now for a little bit. They played, 3 out of 4 players played on Team Shinagawa last year. Switched names, but you know, they have some chemistry.
Alberts to Big Drizzy. He's got 6 seconds to shoot, and he's like a deer in headlights. All confused. Ends up traveling and giving the Wilson back over to Tennoz. DJ Last on the spins, by the way. Shout out to him. The 3x3 GOAT. DJ. Noah Lazarus on the mic. And one travel deserves another. Back-to-back turnovers. BA getting pestered, forced to give it up. He's going to have to put it up. Oh, quick hands. Look at Tennoz on the defensive end. Oh, trying to put Drizzy on skates. He did not fall for it. The tip is no good. BA, Medieval. We'll get it to trickle in.
A lot this season is going to come down to whether BA can play as well as he did last year in the World Tour Finals, but also maybe up his scoring average just a little bit, right? He was a great addition.
Yeah.
It took him a long time to kind of get going on the squad. At the start of last year, it was a little bit rough.
Yeah.
At the end of last year, though, he really came through both on offense and on defense. And now in this new look, I'd say Team Amsterdam without Arvin Slacher, he's going to have to step up even more.
Well, he was just shy of 6 points per game last year in 5 events played. He did lead the league in 2-point shooting percentage. So he's proven his ability. You know, I got that nickname for him from Worthy, Medieval, because he's a terror in that mid-range area, but he can get it going from deep as well. But it's the consistency that I think is going to be key for Amsterdam and him in particular this year. We know what Worthy can do. Foul connect, 12 feet. Too much sauce on that one. 4-3 to stay. Dribble drive. Uh-oh, another travel.
Yeah, Tennoz playing so fast, they're outpacing themselves right now.
A little too happy-footed. They'll turn it over for the second straight possession. Amsterdam, not exactly sweating. Only looking at a 1-point deficit right now. Dreesen in the post office. He's going to deliver.
Easy money with the bunny, 4-4. Hesitation with the finish.
Oh, nice finish. Little English from Utsunomiya, the 23-year-old. Height, Worthy, kicks it. Albert swings through. B.A. no way.
Nice save. Worthy.
Oh, Worthy smoked the layup. He will get it back and finish what he started. 5-5 contest.
Ito is so quick, man. Just a catch, gets down low, and his first step is just so explosive. He leaves everybody in the dust.
One shot.
Diminutive in size for sure, as he stands 167. That's got to be like 5'6" or something like that.
Possibly, yeah.
6-5.
But he's got rocket boosters in those legs, that's for sure. BA, free throw line. Now he's starting to get medieval.
Yeah, that's a big weapon right there.
The jet, step back
Deep
shot.
2 attempt, not happening. 6'6".
Step back and a foul.
Foul on ball.
So a couple of things I'm curious about with these 3 players in the court for Amsterdam is A, who's going to screen? And B, can they get Balkanek going? That's kind of needed, right? You have him out here as an offensive weapon, but he hasn't taken too many shots so far.
Well, I think that he needs a screener, right? And you just asked the question, who's going to screen for him? I think that Alberts and Worthy have an easier time creating their own shots. Worthy nearly threw it away, and Alberts is bumped before the shot. It is the now 3rd foul on Tennoz. in a 6-6 tie. Ball up top. Hype Worthy will get a rest. Medieval shall continue the possession. Alberts ricochets off the front iron. Starting to get a little wind picking up here. Oh, nice cross. Tell you that the penetration off of the quickness that we're seeing from Naoto Ito is different.
Yeah, look, I was fortunate enough to cover this team on the Challenger circuit a few times last year, and Ito, he's got that first step. You can leave him a little space because he's not the greatest two-point shooter, but I've seen tournaments where he got really hot and it was impossible to guard him.
I mean, he's got that Gilles Martin kind of speed, that Trey Bardsley quickness. Alberts can't not get his shot up. Tennoz has Amsterdam in custody.
I remember from my playing days, playing against teams like this is so tough because they get you out of rhythm. You kind of want to go into an easy one-on-one underneath the basket. But that was with me on the team. I don't think Amsterdam has a big guy that can create his shot consistently. So,
well, they definitely are testing Amsterdam's cardio. And they testing their metal as well. Tennoz is up 2. You see Alberts is a little bit gassed. Worthy's coming in after a substitution. So I guess the strategy for Tennoz is to just run them ragged.
I think that keep creating off of penetration, I'd say. I mean, that's another way of saying what you said, though. But they need to keep penetrating, they need to keep driving, and then they'll create some space for themselves, especially with that type of speed.
Beyond over to Balkan. Drizzy back up to Hype. Hype is hacked. I think this is one of those games where Worthy's got a sense that his team's having a tough time offensively. I'd like to see him 3 or 4 possessions in a row.
Now he's picked up 2 quick fouls in a row.
Yep. Well, that's a part of it. Either they foul you or you get buckets. But I think this is the time Worthy just takes the ball 3 or 4 possessions in a row. Hype on the drive. Finishes with the scoop. Oh, big Drizzy denied him at the front door. Foul connect, finally connects. 9-8. Ito. No good off the iron, lands in Worthy's lap. Big Drizzy, Olympian to Olympian. That's a goal connection. 10-8 now.
Amsterdam finding a little bit more comfort on offense. Tennoz ain't done though yet.
No, Tennoz with a response. 3:38 left in this one as we reach a media timeout. And people start to zip up those hoodies and jackets.
You better zip up another part of your jeans there. Are those zip pants or no?
Yeah, I was smart enough to wear shorts today because I knew that there was going to be a short time where it was cold. But the temperature is going to skyrocket here in about 20 minutes.
All right, I believe you. Look, going back on Amsterdam, I'm curious. They've been switching a lot of screens, right? Tennoz is driving to the basket at will off of screens. I'm curious to see whether they're going to start playing a drop coverage.
Well, yeah, Tennoz haven't really proven an ability to shoot it from long range. Worthy weaving through traffic. He seeps through the cracks and gets the floaty to fall. Cross. Good defense. Spout connect prevents the make. Drizzy got to do something with it. He attacks. I think he's got that all game long. I think he's just got to get to it.
It's not his normal mode of play, so you have to switch up your style, but he needs to be aggressive down there.
Nice cut and finish, Ito. Martin. The connection is plugged in right now. 14-10, back-to-back twos from the new ad. Mountain about connect. He'll get a rest And this is why you add a shooter like Valkanek.
Yeah, he's a proven shooter, he's a proven scorer, and I think he is an underrated creator when it comes to screen and roll, passing to his teammates, right? Again, he's going to give up a little bit on the defensive end, though. But when Amsterdam plays at pace with him and they can get him open shots, he's a great addition. And we say addition, but he was already a part of the team last year.
But a mainstay now expected to be on the roster. Probably more appropriate. Big Drizzy, two-piece? No. Long rebound track down. B.A. That one strikes iron, nothing more. And then a foul up top. That'll be number 5 on Amsterdam. 14-10 contest. The Dutch have come back alive after trailing early. Had a difficult time keeping up with the speed and the pace of Tennoz. But they played enough 3x3 to know that this game isn't won in the first 3 minutes. It is a 10-minute sprint.
Yeah, and Tennoz seemed to be getting away from the things that worked early in the game, right? They worked on quick pick and rolls, drives off of that, and they've went into more one-on-one actions in the last few minutes.
From the elbow, operating, travel. So Tennoz not helping themselves out with their turnovers. That's at least the 3rd travel in this game, maybe 4th. 2:15 left. First of 21 wins. Although I doubt either team will get there. Hype worthy. Swings it out. Alberts still ice cold from long range. And yet another travel on Tennoz.
Yeah, Takeda thought he had a pass and then picked up his foot and had to come down to get a dribble in. They're a little bit out of sorts.
Team with the shortest trip here to Utsunomiya keep traveling.
I like that. That's good. That's a good bar to start the year. Wonderful.
Well, you know, I'm going to throw a bunch of them out there. Some will stick, some won't. But if you're going to beat Amsterdam, you certainly can't afford the amount of turnovers that Tennoz have committed.
Definitely not.
Nice.
Great hustle.
Excellent hustle. Big Drizzy to BA. Pull up, 2-ball. Drizzy with the rebound. What a fine, great awareness there from Valkanek, who finds Drizzy. Now Tennoz are looking a little bit panicked from my line of sight.
They are. Again, they're playing a little bit out of sorts. The chemistry's gone. They're doing quick shots, trying to get back into this game. They're not shooting well from 2.
Haven't shot well from 2 this entire game. So they've had to abandon the game plan some. And Alberts knows. Valkanek not in the mood for company. He sent Utsunomiya away with 53 seconds left in this game. Looks like it's going to be in the bag for Amsterdam. And guess what? Another
travel. Takeda, he's saving up some miles now.
I'm telling you. Tennoz have traveled so much they got lounge access. And this game ain't even over with yet. My goodness. 2-ball, nothing but. However, this game is pretty much a done deal. Amsterdam, the 3 points to put it to bed. Alberts gets it back. Medieval to Big Drizzy. Dreesen bumping, banging, kicking. Alberts still missing. Worthy won't. He'll get it to go plus the foul.
Number 7.
And, he can hit it from the line here. Here I am going to have to eat my own words. If Worthy could knock down both free throws, I didn't think Amsterdam would get to 21. But your reigning league MVP, Height Worthy, with one more free throw to go to officially put our first World Tour game in the books of 2025. It is a W for Amsterdam. Damn. They do it before the horn. 21-12 over Tennoz, despite a hot start from Tennoz. Amsterdam never worried, never panicked, stayed steady, and they come out victorious to start off Pool D action here from Utsunomiya. The opener underway. Highlights coming your way before the action will continue. So we'll head to Pool C action, and we'll look at Utsunomiya defending champions, Miami for the first time this year, against Utsunomiya Brex EXE. That is on deck here in front of the Futa-Arayama Shrine. All righty. Main draw. Game number 2, Pool C's first action as we keep it rolling from Utsunomiya, Japan. Kyle Montgomery, aka the voice of 3x3. Boz Rosendahl, aka the Mountain. The biggest bookworm you'll ever see in your life. He's a book snake. What's bigger than a worm?
Oh, wow.
You get the picture. He's a brainiac.
Yep.
I wonder what he thinks about Miami coming into this year. New look Miami. First of all, the uniforms.
Yep.
Well, I like them. They're very Miami-esque. Although they got a bunch of Cornhuskers on this team.
They got some Vice colors out there for sure.
This is very Miami Vice-like. Another absolute powerhouse returning from 2024. James Air Parrott, the Slim Reaper, leading the way with Olympian, the real deal. Dylan Travis, Big Cinny, Mitch Hahn, and the Caruso, Henry Caruso, Team Miami, defending Utsunomiya Opener champions again from a year ago. They are the 3 seed here, and they get their first crack at Utsunomiya Brex, who come out in the orange. Boz, what do you make of this matchup? Is this a runaway win for Miami, or could we see Utsunomiya Brex challenge Miami much in the same way as we saw Tennoz with Amsterdam?
Well, the bad news for Utsunomiya fans is that they're playing with 3, which is the toughest thing to do in all of 3x3. They are down a player. Griffin Byra, I have to shout him out. He's a good player, but he's not with the team. I think there's some visa stuff going on. I think this could be a nice game for Miami to warm up, because this Miami lineup is very unproven to me. And I say that with them doing well in the Champions Cup and winning the America Cup last year, but they have never featured this roster, these exact 4 players, on the pro circuit. So I'm curious. Look, it's a little bit of a switch up of styles for me. I think 3 of the 4 players played on those teams at the end of last year that played with a lot of flow, a lot of pace.
Yeah.
I think Caruso came over, and he's played in a system, a Princeton-style system, for a long time. So I'm curious to see how they're going to fit him into that pace game, because I think that's where they shine. If they play with pace, if they play with flow, they play at their best, especially Mitch Hahn and James Parrott.
Yes, and it's worth mentioning that obviously Miami are the defending Utsunomiya Opener champions, but the team that won that Masters in 2024 is not this same team. The only carryover is Dylan Travis. Everybody else is brand new. You remember James Parrott and Mitch Hahn and company, and Trey Bardsley becoming a part of Team Miami about mid-season last year. They did go on to win the Neon Masters. So now starting fresh with a new squad and hoping that it provides some results this year. Miami trying to win their first ever World Tour final title here in 2025. These are the beginnings.
Don't forget the addition of Andrew Kelly, who came over from China. He's going to be a big player on this team as well. Again, some questions on on how he fits into their flow system.
Yeah,
but I'm sure they've got some practice time, and they're both here.
And Trey Barnes is in the stands as well. Shout out to both he and Kels. I like them both. You know, it's not a bad problem to have, right? Because you think of Kelly's athleticism, especially his defense, his effort on the glass. He and Caruso provide similar characteristics. I think Trigger Trey, though. I think Trigger Trey could be an X factor on his team. I've said it before. I think his dribble penetration, his speed is disruptive for a defense. We know what his shooting is. You know, we'll see. I don't know if this is an experiment, but I think if they aren't winning games, don't be shocked if Trey Bardsley comes back into the lineup. Here we go. Game number 2, Pool C. Miami. No basket. And Utsunomiya. So the home team. Man, I think we got about 200 more fans in a blink, Boz. I looked up and
this venue filled up quick.
And no empty seats for this one. '25 season with 15 events on the schedule. This is the first. Utsunomiya on the attack, trying to find an opening in the Miami defense. Where are you going? He put Big Cinnamon in the mix with the ball fake. The real deal. Over to Big Cindy on the attack. On your head, sir. He gave him a Bohickey knot. He just punched it on his dome. And they brought all the fakes. What is this, Silk Road? Utsunomiya leading 3-1. Big City falling away. A tantalizing talent at 6'7", 6'8", Mitch Hahn. And has the ability to be that alpha, that type A player, I think, on the team. And between he and Parrott, I think that could be a devastating 1-2 combination if they can be consistent throughout the year.
Look, don't get it twisted. If this team gets it together, they might be a top 2, maybe even a top 1 team in the league.
I completely agree with you. Again, if you check out our podcast, Word on the Streets, replace the E's with 3s. You can find it on every platform, YouTube, Apple Music. What's the other one? Spotify. I should know this. But yeah, we talked a lot about Miami and the potential of this team. I think James Parrott might catch a body in this one. He won't do it this possession because they threw it away.
Dan, look, key for them is getting Parrott comfortable, right? Because when he's comfortable, when he feels like there's no threat to his position, when he feels like he's playing with fun, with joy in the game, I'd say. We've heard some other players talk about that too. I think he's very good.
The Slim Reaper looks a little slimmer this year, I think. maybe slightly. But that just helps with his flight. One of the most athletic players in the league, without a question. Speaking of athleticism, there's Henry Caruso taking the package. That's easy money for Miami. They do trail it by 1 early. Utsunomiya Brex now. Downhill attack. He got Parrott in the air. Missed the layup. Hahn with it. Caruso now driving right, spinning left, dropping a dime, and another two-handed flush from Big Cindy. Big Cindy out here sinning.
Yuck.
I think he's coming to 2025 with the right mentality.
I think all of them are, but man, Mitch Hahn working on his jumps in the offseason, huh?
Well, you know, he's always had them. He just hadn't always shown them. And he got 2 to the chin that time. Nice knockdown here from Utsunomiya. Back up, 6-2. James Parrott. Easy like Sunday morning on that last drive. And a 1-point contest. I like the pace here to start, really from both teams. The first time that all of our teams are putting those practice plans and preparations into action. It's always a little bit of nerves to start the season. Look at the defense here from Caruso. Thou shalt not pass.
We're going with Lord of the Ring references now?
I believe that existed before Lord of the Rings.
Thou shalt not pass.
But you get the point. I think that's biblical, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Yes. Caruso baptizing him in the paint. Right? I can just keep him going if you want.
Look at you. You saved up all your references for this tournament alone, huh?
You know this is top of the dome,
I know. Sharp, though. I'll say that.
Hey, man, it's the beginning of the season. I got something in my bag, though. I'm just waiting.
Me too.
If I got a chance to call that crossing in the QD, I don't.
Yeah, that was vicious.
Oh, can we please have one like that in the main draw? But plays like that you don't see often, man. That's a rarity. Inside feed. Hey. Real deal. Miami up 1. Ooh, nice downshift, change of direction, and a kiss off the glass.
Koulibaly has shown me some stuff early in this game, man. He's shifty. He's got a little bit of creation to him, and he's quick too. I don't mind him at all.
Utsunomiya, yeah. I like it what I'm seeing from the 24-year-old. So media timeout time, and Utsunomiya Brex sticking with Miami, the 3 seed and defending Utsunomiya Opener champions. This tournament, as you know, 2 days of action, features the top 10 ranked teams in the world here. So the best of the best. So Miami will start it from the logo. The Caruso. Over to Big Cindy. Hahn left him on the floor. He littered him, literally.
You wanted to see some crossovers. Now there we go.
Hey, anytime somebody hits the floor, see, he hit him with the heads, he stepped back. Next thing you know, he did a belly flop? Was that what that was? Man's belly button was on the Indio court. That's never a good thing. Hahn continuing to do work. Leave Hahn up to 5 points in this one. Difficult layup attempt. Parrott thought about the 2, gets it back. Parrott now, double pump back scratcher. And that's light work. And his bounce comes so easy, though. And he's 34, I think.
Maybe even older than that, isn't he?
I'll have to look. But I think Parrott is like 34, and
he gets off of the ground quick, and he's got long arms, too.
Look at that. back scratcher off the drop step, 10-7. Miami cannot add to the lead. That is a foul on the inside. Henry Caruso over from Team Princeton. Big offseason acquisition.
Did you see they started adding some of that Princeton stuff into their offense, the back cuts?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Well, it's effective, man. And it gives Caruso an element of the offense that he's used to running, where he's thrived in. But you see the perpetual movement. Quick ball movement, quick player movement. They go up top, inside. Parent, drop step, bucket. Suleiman, turn around when I'm talking to you. He's getting to it.
I told you, man. Coulibaly is doing major work out there. He has to, though. They're playing with 3.
Parent misses the crib. Coulibaly misses the 2. Caruso streaks over with Lele. Straight to Caruso. 5-point lead for Miami. Bringing the heat here in Utsunomiya.
Look at Coulibaly again, fading and making. That's a beautiful shot. But look, I like what I'm seeing from Miami. They're playing with poise. They're playing with pace. They're playing smart. And I think they've integrated Caruso in a beautiful way.
I do too. This is the best I've seen this group play. And again, I got a chance to see him early in the season as we kicked off 2025 with the Champions Cup in Bangkok. That was a little over a month ago. And they ended up losing to Australia twice. This team is a lot sharper. 2 to shoot. The Caruso, no.
I thought he should have taken a shot earlier when he was up top here. He was open. He didn't want to take the 2. He passed it down to Mitch, but he had an open look.
Well, you know, Caruso is never looking for a shot. He's just never been that kind of player. I think he should look for it more and become a little bit more of an offensive threat.
That's his transition into their offensive style, though. If you can get that, then he fits right in.
Well, he is the defending league leader in blocks for a reason. James Parrott going stretch Armstrong.
Is it Armstrong? You just called him skinny.
You know what I mean. But the almost got another one. Hahn out to Travis, mainly facilitating these days. And he will throw an interception. Push in the back, caught on Parrott. That is the 5th on Miami, 5 on Utsunomiya as well. 4:17 to play in this one. Got a warning, I believe, on Miami. Oh, whoa. There's a head-on collision. Thankfully, everybody's okay. But a 6th foul now on Miami. Next offensive foul on the Americans, and they'll be sending Utsunomiya Brex to the free throw line.
Yeah, it was a good play, though. It was faker than some Schnikes.
Well, you're talking about the ball fakers. I've seen a few Schnikes out here, as a matter of fact. Now, I got to tell you the story of when my dad bought me these fake J's when I was young at some point. Yes. When you said Schnikes, it took me back. We'll take a timeout here. Another media timeout as we're under 4 minutes to go. Nice start from Miami. We just saw Amsterdam in the opening game of this competition come out on top over Tennoz. Crowd's in it.
Home team, you can see it.
I don't know if they're going to be able to cheer this team to victory. But I give them an A for effort.
It's a whole new look with Utsunomiya Shi, too. You remember last year they featured Petar Sukur, Atanasov.
Yeah.
A fully different team, but the crowd's very much into it.
Well, this team's got some potential to be competitive. Mitch Hahn, nasty! He just funked on him again. That's the third punch for Mitch Hahn.
Apparently you can't get too much cinnamon in your diet.
Big Zenny leading the way. He got 6 of Miami's 14. He wants 2 more. Splash in the deep end. Big City is cooking for Miami. Now it's Travis. He's going to throw it. Never mind. Nice layup from the real deal. 17-10. Oh, scissor dish. Nice find and bucket. Hahn. A heat check for Big City. He's got the American team on their feet. Caruso got lost for a bit. Now he'll find himself with the Wilson. Travis back. You could tell that that was going to be a miss as soon as it left the fingertips of Caruso. And oh, little bump, little hip check from the baseline. 2 free throws coming up here for Utsunomiya. Suleiman will head to the stripe with 2:28 to go.
Yeah, again, Suleiman has been the sole source of consistent offense for Utsunomiya. I like the way he plays, though. He's got the little hesitation. He can get to the basket. Missed that last one, but I think he showed out so far for a team that came in as underdogs for sure, especially playing with 3, missing their big guy against the size of this Miami squad, but it's been Miami through and through in this one. When Hahn plays like this,
oh, man,
you better watch out.
Hey. Yes, sir. This is the potential. This is him reaching that, playing at that level that we imagine him playing at consistently. Not just because it's against Utsunomiya. That's no shade towards them. But I think that Hahn can do this against elite level competition. It's all about mentality.
The one thing to watch out for, and it might just be the speed of Utsunomiya, is the fact that Miami now is at 7 fouls, and that's maybe not too in effect in this game, but they usually average right around 4.5 fouls per game. They don't foul much. 7 is a lot for them.
3 Masters wins last season for Miami, second only to Oud. And they are destroying them with that back door. They sneaky linking them to death. Off the missed layup now. On now. Held up by a foul. Mitch will have a sit. And timeout, Miami. Dylan Travis is saying why? For what? I think Mitch took a timeout because Mitch want to come back in and pad some stats.
Well, and he wants to breathe it.
Well, he was already getting the rest.
Still, he wanted some more oxygen, I think. No, but curious because now Mitch is sitting, right? And you have Caruso, Travis, and Parrott on the court, which means Parrott's going to be the lead on offense. But in this, again, in this lineup, you need some offense, some more offense out of Travis. And I'm curious because we've seen him do it in the past. Last year, he went all the way into that role player, you know, the dog that got all the loose balls, all that stuff. Will he shoot?
No need to shoot when you got high percentage buckets like that. The flush from Caruso. It's pretty much knocked Utsunomiya out of contention in this one. A 7-point lead for the Americans. Back up top to Perry. He's yet to catch a body. Well, they continue to take advantage of the interior defense of Utsunomiya. That one grazes the iron. All they need is one. They'll get it to the real deal. Back door. Parrott lost the handle on it. Oh, Out of bounds. Perry might have got away with a little bit of a shove there.
He did get away with that. He pushed him slightly. I don't know if that was worth 2 free throws, though. Or at least a foul.
Well, possession still up top to Utsunomiya. A possession that likely will not matter. Minute 35 left in this one. Suleiman pulls up, 2-piece, off iron. Travis with the Wilson. He'll navigate from the top of the key. The real deal, drops it off. Peridot, that was the most disgusting dunk I've seen. Oh, no. What? Help me, please. Lord.
What?
Praise.
Oh.
Show this over and over and over again. There lies a man who tried, but it cost him his life.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I thought we had the dunk of the tournament already with Hahn punching on somebody, but this was disgusting.
I just kept saying that. Beard hadn't got a body yet. We're going to need to unwind a bit after seeing it end like that. That was, yeah.
We'll be seeing that for a while. Oh, Lord.
Whoa. I'm still like thinking of like the extension on that was he was 5 feet away from the bucket.
How did he get there?
This was a dunk exhibition. This was a dunk fest for Miami. And if you want to set the tone for a season, this is how you do it. Oh, man. Yep. That's going to be on replay. Man. So I'm just hanging around in the highlight just to see the last one.
I'm lucky enough to be close to the score table. It just showed it to me, and it is as disgusting as it was live.
That was the first dunk. All right, okay, that's light work. Okay, and then there's going to be a couple more plays that we're not really here for any of these. We're here for this one. Yam! Okay, Big City just abusing it, and a helpless defender. Can do nothing to stop that attack. Caruso touches some iron as well. But this one, the Slim Reaper, he ain't a killer, but don't push him. Oh, okay. Well, I think we all deserve a rest after that. A little break in the action. All right, so we got a short entertainment break. We'll get to Pool B action coming up next. We'll get Toulouse and London, which should be an interesting matchup. And Pool B action, we are about 10 minutes away from check ball in that one. So stick around, y'all. 10 minutes, we're back to it from Utsunomiya.
Okay, それでは12秒フリースローチャレンジ参りましょう。皆さんででっかい拍手をお願いします。じゃあここは日本語で3、2、1みんなでお願いします。いきましょう。3、2、1、レッツゴー。おさあようわちょっと待って中にいた方がいいよバスケやったことないのにめちゃくちゃすごい子が現れちゃったよしじゃあ行くぞレン君ね次名前教えてください清水亮です清水亮君さあいけるかな OK さあいいぞりょうくんに大きな拍手をお願いします。参りましょう。3秒前321 GO さあいけちゃんとりょうくんはフリースローライン上から打ってるいけるぞ最後カモンどうだラストショット OK ナイスチャレンジありがとうナイスチャレンジだりょうくんじゃあ最後名前教えてください英介くんさあ英介くんもフリースローラインから OK よしじゃあ英介くんのチャレンジはフリースローラインからでは3人目最後のチャレンジャー英介くん参りましょう。みんなでご唱和ください。3秒前いきましょう。321レッツゴー。さあ池英介ボールは渡してくれる。 OK 惜しいなんとかもう一本ラストショットOK ありがとうナイスチャレンジナイスチャレンジありがとう。さあでは改めてみんな真ん中に集まって1枚取りましょうか。 OK です。じゃあこっち向いて参加してくれたみんなには参加賞で今日のワールドツアーオリジナルタオルまずプレゼントおめでとう。そしてさらに優勝レン君ですね。はいミニボール差し上げます。おめでとう。そしてレン君には明日の Day2 特等席コートサイドシートチケットプレゼント。コートのサイドその辺のめちゃめちゃ近いところで椅子に座って見れる券です。嬉しいですか。 OK ありがとう。よっしゃじゃあ改めてフォトセッションいきましょう。みんなで写真を撮ろう。OK ありがとう。では3人のチャレンジャーに大きな拍手をお願いします。以上12秒フリースローチャレンジでした。
Once again, y'all, you see that QR code on the big screen. Scan and post your photo, y'all. Giving an official jersey and short set to the best and most creative photo.
なので皆さん改めてこちらのビジョンの QR コードをチェックしていただいてますでしょうか。こちらの本日ベストフォト賞は先ほどキャップと申し上げましたが景品アップグレードアップしてます。なんと優勝者1名にはこちら 今シーズンの選手着用オリジナルユニフォーム上下セットで差し上げます。皆さん今すぐQR コードをチェックしてみんなの写真いけてるやつを見てみてください。発表がこの後になります。早めに上げてたくさん行動してユニフォームゲットしてあげてください。
Coming up next, main draw, game 3, pool B, game 1, and we got Team Toulouse from France versus Team London from USA. And now, representing the Team Toulouse, number 4,
The action continues from Utsunomiya as we shift our attention to Pool B play. Our first look at the athletes formerly known as Paris. Team Toulouse, same 4 players, new name, but they start the season off with some high expectations. A lot of second places and a first place on the Masters last year. And it's Paul Joko, Hugo Suhar, Jules Rambeau, and of course, the killer, Frank Segela. Again, a new name for this squad, new additions not featured here in Utsunomiya. But this team is one to look out for. They are very good defensively. And we'll see if they can come together on offense and make a run here at the World Tour Opener 2025. They're going to be facing another team that has rebranded itself slightly. Team London. 2 of the players on this squad featured on Princeton last year, but now featured as London, USA. They got a new addition too. It's Ashley Hamilton, UK citizen, a member of the British national team. He's joined by Justin Pierce as well as Jérôme Desroger. Only 3 players on the squad as Austin Butler could not get here. He had some visa issues. So we'll see them act as 3. Curious what the new addition's going to do. Hamilton last year in the Europe Cup, 3 points per game, 3 rebounds per game. He was a member of the shooting competition, so, you know, he wants to shoot the 2 as well. Pierce, we saw bits and pieces of last year. He was good in spot duty for that Princeton squad and really tore it up, shot it well from distance. But they got a big task ahead of them playing this squad in Toulouse. We know Desroger, he can screen, he can roll, he can shoot it as well. A young team, and we'll see what they can manage.
I like the uniforms. The, I guess, ice gray with the pink trim for Toulouse bars. And that's the extent of my analysis because I'm just sitting down.
See, I need to be one of those. Those uniforms look cool, though. I'm not going to lie. I wish I had one of them.
So new look to go with the new name, but I'm sure you probably already told people how they looked as Team Paris last year. They played in the most Masters finals of any team next to UB last year, finished runners-up at the World Tour final. But I guess still hoping for new results this year because, you know, 2 is good, but it's not number 1. And if you're not first, you're last, right?
Oh, all right there, Ricky Bobby.
All right then. So a new mentality, and we spoke highly about this team on our podcast, Word on the Streets, and we both felt like this team's gotten better. Now the 4 that they have here is the 4 that we've grown accustomed to them playing with. Hugo, their shooter on the outside, Jules Rambeau, big man in the middle. course, Franz Segala and Paul Joko. With the addition of Raphael Wilson on this squad, we expect him to make an appearance at some point. We think puts this team over the edge. London, an interesting squad, but we don't get to see the full squad. I'm sure Boz already described the reason that they got 3 and not 4. So maybe we won't get to fully see the capability of London in this one because they don't have that substitute, but I'm still anxious to see them. All right, here we go. Toulouse. Toulouse, formerly known as Paris, against London, formerly known as Princeton.
You saw a little bit of this Toulouse squad as the French national team on the Champions Cup. And the question I have for them is, can Paul Joko not only be as disruptive as he is on defense, but can he be a factor on offense? He only averaged 1.7 points per game in that Champions Cup. And again, this is for the French national team, but it's the same 4 players on the court. Joko needs to be able to hit outside shots or at least get his drives to the basket going. He is such a good player. But when he is a non-factor on offense, they rely too much on Frank Segala having to create most of their stuff. Suhard, you know what he's going to give you. He's going to give you right around 5 points per game. He's going to get some lob passes to Rambo in. But they need you can't have a non-factor offensively. That's what I'm going to say. Non-factor offensively on the court. You can't have that in 3x3 nowadays.
Well, Joko, this stat may shock you, Boz, but he actually shot 32% from 2-point range last year, 33% on 61 attempts. I know it was not a lot of attempts in 9 events for him, but you know, 33% in 3x3 is not a bad percentage.
Agreed.
So maybe this is a matter of him getting more volume. Frank Segala, he was good for 6.5 per last year. He's got the first 2 for Toulouse here in 2025. Oh, DeRosier with a special delivery. And Hamilton cannot finish it off thanks to a foul. Like Ashley Hamilton's game a lot, big fella. You can see the shoulders on that man. But not a lot of time to practice with the team because he's in the UK. And it's funny because this London team, as Hamilton scores on the inside, is American. So I don't know if they want Guinness and chips or they want they want a Budweiser and burgers. Which one is it?
Yeah, London, Ohio. So I'm going to go ahead and say they probably want some. What's Ohio food?
I wouldn't even know. But the name, a little bit confused. But London, Ohio, yes, true.
Yeah.
Who knew there was a London in Ohio?
I did not know. It's an interesting choice of name.
I guess there's a Cleveland over there in London. Never mind. Jokes are getting worse and worse with each game. I'll stop it now. Suhard, 17-footer. Now it is going to go. He was even surprised at that one. Pierce drops it off. Hamilton with the poke. Keep an eye on Justin Pierce. He's their sharp shooter. Hamilton will have it in the corner. Being guarded by Rambo. Jewel reaches in, comes away with the Wilson. Joko quickly over to Hugo. Boss. Nice defense there from Hamilton to tie that up.
Yeah, Pierce is going to be the main motor on offense for this London squad. You remember him coming in last year, and I think he averaged 7 points per game on one of the tournaments.
He did. I called that tournament. He couldn't miss from long range. But in my view of him, at least in what I've seen, he's more of a catch and shoot shooter rather than a guy that's going to create a look off the dribble.
Well, they don't have anybody to create anything off the dribble in this iteration with these 3.
Now this is going to be ISO game for London without a substitute. And their individual talents match up with the system that Toulouse play with. And they don't lose much with it. Joko, cross court. Suhard setting up with Segala, giving him a screen. Nothing but strings for Hugo. Boss, Suhard.
Offensive foul on Roger. But look back at Suhard getting to his spot. That's the spot he likes to shoot from most. 45 degrees is where you see him pull up a bunch.
To me, he's one of the most deadly shooters in the league. 34% from two range last year. In fact, Toulouse as a team, 33% from distance in 2024, back when they were known as Paris. That time, Suhard kind of glitched mid-shot. Got a foul on the inside against Rambo.
I think what makes Suhard special is not just his shooting ability, but it's the fact that he can get in the lane, has a little floater, but he can also give the big guy, the rolling big guy, a pass. Him and Rambo were a really beautiful combination last year.
Yeah, they made 6 finals in 9 events last year, which is crazy. They only won 1 event. That was in Lausanne, right after Paris took silver at the 3x3 competition in the Olympics. Couple of Olympians here. Getting this possession started. It counted, plus the foul. Frank Segala drops another 2-piece. Toulouse go up by 6 as Segala steps up to the line. He was 3rd on the tour in rebounds last year, while also averaging 6 points per game, 34% from Tulane. And a 76% free throw shooter. The lead now 9 for Toulouse. London with no sub. DeRosier. Nice jump hook in the paint. Joko turns the corner with the quickness. So a quick response here from Toulouse. Know where to go with it. Rossier got it swatted, but wait, that's going to be a goaltend. And media timeout. You knew that this was going to be a tough go at it for London, not having a substitute.
Yeah, and I think the main issue isn't on offense. They're trying, they're running pick and rolls. They're still finding a lot of chemistry as they haven't practiced much together. I think their switches on defense haven't been crisp. So look at this, an uncontested shot for Suhard because Desrosiers didn't come out. This is the goaltend we just saw, but I think on those switches you'll see teams exploiting them because, again, not a lot of chemistry. Pierce didn't play much last year, so this is his first real venture into 3x3 as a unit in a full season. And Hamilton, look, not a lot of experience on his end. He's been playing basketball for a long time, but this 3x3 game, he hasn't had as much pro circuit experience as any of the guys on the court, actually.
Yeah. So I think they're going to be a work in progress. But I do like the ingredients. They find themselves down 6 in this one. The voice in the mountain on the mic with you. Suhard will miss it off iron. Hamilton will corral the rebound. Hamilton poked away. The Joker. They'll pass it up top to Hugo. The streaking Suhard will miss it. Rambo to Joko. Bump. Caught on Jerome. And a warning for DeRosier. I've never seen a Canadian get out of line. That was the most impolite DeRosier's ever been. Oh, crossover. Had him on his heels. Segala is cooking for Toulouse. 11-4, Pierce hitting the deck. But the Stars have shown out so far today. In this particular contest, it has been Frank Segala, who I believe has climbed up to number 3.
I think so.
In player rankings. We'll double check that, but he is living up to that mark. Meantime, Suhart off the mark. Hamilton beasting on the inside, scoring it over Segala. Joko turned on the afterburners. Pierce got caught reaching in the cookie jar. And that foul is in the process of the shot that'll put Paul Joko on the line.
London's only consistent source of offense so far has been post-ups. They've been rushing the pick and roll. They haven't been able to connect much on the passing, so they have to watch out. Otherwise, Toulouse is going to run away with this one.
Well, Joko will miss at the free throw line. That is one of the areas that he has struggled. Maybe could be a better contributor. Offensively, that's how you contribute. Monster flush from the Joker. Hamilton, yes, sir. So Hamilton contorting for the score with the foul. But here's the Joker with the poker. Flush from Paul Joko.
That top five is going to be stacking this tournament already.
I'm telling you. Suhart using the screen. Rambo. There's a fillet. Oh, Hamilton is balling. Nobody home to stop Suhart, and he will scoop it up and in. Toulouse leading by 4. Hamilton. He's been a wrecking ball, and he will get called for the foul. I mean, for the travel, excuse me. Slid the pivot foot. Turnover to Toulouse.
There's an example of that beautiful pick and roll game I told you about. It's Suhart and Rambo linking up. Quick pass, easy layup.
Suhart, slick move. Try to get it inside to Rambo, but it's kicked. So a fresh 12-second shot clock for Toulouse to work with. Past the midway point of this 10-minute sprint from here in Utsunomiya. Hamilton is absolutely everywhere, offensively, defensively. Pierce lines one up, and it's off target. Poked away by Hamilton. Pierce is fouled. Joko contesting, but not cleanly.
I think that's a right way to play for Pierce, though, as he doesn't have a creator to work off of to get his shots open. He needs to get some quick looks at the basket. He hasn't been able to get anything going from beyond the two-point arc, and that's his strength.
He knocks down the first of 2 free throws. So London is still in it very much in this game. Ashley Hamilton largely responsible for them being alive. It is a one-possession contest right now as London will try to shock Team Toulouse. That will not help them. Pierce caught out of position, fouls Joko. Fortunately for him, Joko a 55% free throw shooter, so we'll see how this trip to the stripe goes. Joko, 1 of 2 at the strike. Gets it back up to a 4-point lead for the Frenchman. London out of America.
Yeah, it's a take foul. Joko didn't want any part of that post-up from Hamilton.
Hamilton's built different. Aggressive. Got good instincts in the post with the ball in his hands. You trust him. To Pierce. Pierce waiting for Hamilton to get to the bucket. Spins off of Segala. A nimble move from the big brute. Suhart up top. Rambo. And now Pierce will spin free. Back and forth we go. 3:50 left. That is not who you want to let shoot. Suhart with the hezzy, drive, finish. Toulouse within 3. Hamilton, ISO. On the take now. 2 to shoot. Sigela swipes it away. Sigela, target practice, winds it up. No good. Hamilton, big board. Did he get out of the paint? There he goes. Over to Pierce. Whistle. Offensive foul.
And this is not only we're playing with 3, but also the chemistry issues come into effect, right? Hamilton on that last possession took a long time to get to his spot, then got his cookies taken. This time Pierce waits for the screen. Hamilton a little rushed, pushes him out. Look, I think London so far has shown me that they can be a good team this year, though.
Yeah, I would say so. And Hamilton with an impressive debut with this team. But you don't get to see the full spectrum of what they could be without a substitute, which is, it's obviously very important. You want to see the full complement of players to really get an assessment of what this team can do. But playing against Toulouse, who we expect to be a top 5 team most certainly, but a top 3 team, is what they're projected to be this year. And London have been in this contest, still within 4 points. And who knows how that ball might bounce. That one out of bounds, initially ruled off of Toulouse, and it will be London ball. Toulouse known as a defensive team. 3rd stingiest defense in the league last year is Paris. Can Pierce find his shot? Foul on Sigela, number 6. He definitely got the worst end of that one, but it's Hamilton that's getting up more slowly.
Hamilton's playing like a cannonball, man. He's going through people to get to the cup. I enjoy him so far.
Great shape. Gets it to DeRosier. Hamilton. Missed the shorty. And time is of the essence with 2:30 to go. And that fatigue disallowing Hamilton to get out and contest that 2 ball from Sigela, who's put together a hell of a game. Pierce now. Succeeding and scoring over Sigela. But all they need is 1, and he is that one. The Joker puts it away. Toulouse, 21-15 over London. They do it in 8 minutes of game time to start off 2025 with a W. Credit to London, though, playing with 3. Played well. But Toulouse just too much in the end as they take it by 6. So that's 3 games in the books so far, ladies and gentlemen, not including the QD. We will make our way to Pool A action coming up here shortly and get a look at UB and Partizan in an all-Serbian Group A. I don't know. We'll discuss if that's the pool of death or not when we come back. In the meantime, enjoy the highlights in a 6-point Toulouse W.
Coming up next.
Right, we back. Game number 4 of 12. This is the 2025 FIBA 3x3 World Tour Utsunomiya Opener. We have reached Pool A action, and the team that both Boz and I predicted to win it all this year is taking the court. Team Uber, who, the standard for this team is so high now. Of course, they did not win their 3rd consecutive World Tour final title, thanks to Amsterdam. Obviously struggled at the Olympics as well. Did not take gold at the Europe Cup, took a silver there. So by their standards, a disappointing season. They come into 2025 focus in the lab this offseason. They have the world #1, Doc Strange. Strahinja Stojic is leading the way. Dejan Majstorovic, 37 years old, in his 12th season. Looking for his 6th Utsunomiya Masters win. And Nim Diesel, Nemanja Barac, back ready to roll with the beast, Marko Brankovic. Now they're I don't want to say rivals. They're Serbian compatriots who hope to become rivals. Team Partizan, do not sleep on this team this year. They are the 9 seed, and they come in packing a punch. I like the talent on this team. Milo Šupica in particular, and of course, Stefan, the Gladiator, Milivojevic, MVP of the Champions Cup in Bangkok, again, just a little over a month ago. So, by no means do I expect this to be a blowout. These players know each other. There's that familiarity, and I think Partizan has gotten better.
I think so, too. I think the addition of Borovicanin will be a nice addition. Did you know he shot 40% from 2 last year when he played with Wuxi?
I did not know that.
Well, he's a decent shooter. It's going to be interesting, though, when Milivojevic sits. They have 3 guys on the floor that are similarly sized that don't always feature as a ball handler. So I'm curious to see what that lineup will do. Those 3 on the court. We know what Milivojevic can do. Is that MVP at the Champions Cup going to lift him into stardom, though? Because he's been right on the brink of being one of the better players in the game, but he's not quite gotten over the hump to me.
Well, he's got to take the crown from the man we just saw with that filthy reverse in warm-ups. Dr. Strange, 2-time league MVP, and again, world #1. I think I said on the podcast that I think that we're going to see a more mature Strahinja this season. I mean, not to say that he's been immature, but, now's the time I think that he's got to consistently put the team on his back. No more silly turnovers. No more late game mistakes. I think that's the Strahinja we'll see this year. We know what we're going to get from the beast. He's the model of consistency. And Dejan Majstorovic, who was 38% from long range last year, he's like a fine wine. He gets better with time.
And time they've had. Trust me, this lineup has played 20 tournaments together. I went and lineup data. These 4 players for UB have got the most experience out of any team in the field here by a distance.
We'll see if it translates to a win. So look at the matchup on the up top. Milivojevic, the Gladiator, and Nim Diesel. These dudes keep getting buffer like a loading screen. Pool A underway. The voice of 3x3 in your ear. Kyle Montgomery, Boz Rosendahl, the Mountain, here with you from Utsunomiya as this World Tour season opener continues. A third of the way through day 1. And your #1 seed, with the possession. Doc Strange being harassed. Torbica defending up top. Strahinja steps back, lofts up the 2. It's no good. Wadavichanin took a bump from Strahinja, a new add to this Partizan team. Who are starting to raise some eyebrows in Serbia. A lot of support here. I've actually seen the Partizan 5-on-5 team play as well. You ever seen a Red Star Partizan game?
On a television, yes.
Oh,
but
man,
never been live.
I've been there live.
I hear it's quite the experience.
Unbelievable, unreal. But don't ever pick a side. It all depends on who you talk to in Serbia. You pick the wrong team, they might punch you in the chin.
Well, as expected, to start off, this game is very physical.
Yes. But again, these players practice against each other, sharpen their skills.
Do you see Barac rotate in from the weak side? It's something you don't see much, but on this pass, you can see Barac come in from the weak side here to try to contest that shot.
I'm going to call him Babyface Barac.
It's the least beard we've seen on him.
Yes. That's not even a 5 o'clock shadow. That's like a 2 o'clock shadow. It works. He and Majstorovic, the Silver Foxes on the team now. Maestro will get a rest. Majstorovic, the winningest player in all of 3x3. And it's won 5 times here in Utsunomiya. He'll look on for the bench as Doc Strange moves right, crosses left, tries to get it inside. Milivojevic, too much muscle. That time as he gets tangled up with Brankovic. Actually, that was called on
Brankovic.
Yeah, never mind. Brankovic and Milivojevic, both part of that Champions Cup gold medal team. And the Gladiator swings it over. Torbica with the up fake and another foul on Branquilla.
There go those Snikes again.
You talking about Brankovic's kicks?
No, I'm talking about the fake from Torbica.
Oh.
No, Brankovic got some good kicks on.
What are we shining? Not that time from 2 range. Then Diesel sets the screen. What are we shining with the steal? Leaves his feet. That is not a good entry pass. Barac up top. Brankovic. Maestro being pestered. Majstorovic nowhere to go but up. 2-piece off target. And we are nearly 2 minutes into this game. And there has not been a score.
It's been enjoyable, though. I know you like scoring games. I know you want the score to be high, but these teams are giving it their all on defense. They're gritting, they're grinding. I like it.
I like different types of games. That's one too. Milivojevic, pass nearly taken. Now it actually is taken, and now we finally got a score. And it's courtesy of Majstorovic. So in this group, you've got Ub, Lehman, and Partizan. A Serbian slugfest to come out of this group.
That's a very tough pool.
Now the fouls are starting to stack up on Ub. That is the 5th. They got 1 more to give. And this is a trend that they'd like, I think, to change. Getting a lot of fouls early. Borovic into the crib. Strong finish for him. And the delay of game warning, I'm not sure why he would touch that.
Yeah, there's a lot of game left. Now you're already on call.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary. Just let Ub go and get their own rebound. Anyway. Doc Strange trying to whip it inside. And Partizan's defense have seemed to be a step ahead of Ub in a lot of the sets that they're running. In years past, that's been an automatic score almost.
It has been, and think back on Partizan last year. They featured a lot of Bogdan Dragovic, not known for his defense. Borovic so far has been doing well. Is it Chanin or Kanin? Do you know?
I think it's Borovic.
Oh, okay. We'll go with that.
Yeah. Oh, Torbica inside. Or maybe Portovitsanin. One of my Serbian homies hit me up. Let me know. Hey, Chupita has it poked away. Doc Strange says, no, let's get it reset. Doc Strange from the Inleo logo to the top of the key. Doc Strange eyeing a two-piece, shreds the threads. It is 4-2 Oob. Nobody home, Majstorovic. He will leave the lay. 5-2 start for Oob. Media timeout. The Partizan defense has been strong. Have not found themselves in as much foul trouble as Oob, but the offense has been somewhat lacking for the 9 seed. They were a World Tour finalist squad last year, played in 8 regular season Masters. 4 of them, they made runs to the semifinals, but never placed better than 3rd, which they did 3 times, by the way.
Yeah, they're a team that's been on the brink for me in the sense that they have the talent to maybe win a Masters, but they just haven't been able to push through, especially last year.
You just saw Majstorovic's resume here in Utsunomiya. It's a second home. He's the emperor here. And Šupica is there to clean up the mess. Majstorovic could not sell the foul. As Partizan will take over. Inside, Šupica, no, battling with Majstorovic. And Maestro will step on the line.
Šupica rushed that shot. He was in position to catch and just gather himself and go up, and he wanted to get that shot off quickly.
Yeah, should add a dose of patience to his offensive game. I think it'll help him out. But his strength and his touch on the inside, I think he could be one of the better bigs in the league. Podovicanin missed everything, and then he crashes into Srainia. So Oob's body of work last year. They were the winningest team on the tour for the 4th straight year. 5 Masters titles, but again could not complete the three-peat. 20 points per game, highest scoring team, and the least giving defensive team. Just 16.3 points per game.
Yeah, their point differential was way atop of the whole field. They also, especially in this lineup, they scored a one-pointer at such a high rate. 81% from 1-point range when they play with these 4 players.
Yeah, ridiculous. That's why it's hard for me when we get into a discussion about Oob and people say, oh, they're not the same, they fell off.
Statistically, they didn't.
Statistically, they did not. But winning in the big moments, they did. Nice save by Varaj. And he's battling inside. Out of bounds over to Partizan is the Gladiator. Will come back into the arena. Milivojevic, watching him in that final, going, bucket for bucket with Worthy, scoring 11 points to lift him to that Champions Cup. For me, it was a coming of age moment. I think when you look at the future of Serbian 3x3, I think you're looking at a player like Milivojevic. I think you're looking at a player like Nenad Naranjic, in the future. Because eventually, there is going to be a changing of the guard. And who knows which team Milivojevic will be playing for. But I think that on the national team in the future, he's going to be a constant. He misses the first free throw. Milivojevic coming off a 2024 campaign where he averaged about 6 per. He evens the game at 5 apiece. Back here in Utsunomiya for the 4th straight year for the opener. But the 9th time. So we've been having tournaments here since 2016. Majstorovic has seen them all. So have I. So have you.
I've seen him on television, yeah, mostly.
Oh, Stojic, it's no good. This game has seen more whistles than a catwalk so far. A warning now on
Partizan.
Okay, on Partizan.
Milivojevic let it be known that he was not okay with that call.
Well, I think his the test for him is going to be his maturity and maintaining his composure, because that's been his biggest Achilles heel in the years past, is in those tight games, disagreeing with calls, picking up technicals that end up costing Partizan games. The team as a whole in the past, that had been their issue. So I think part of him taking that next step is his maturity.
It's tough, though, when you play with a certain fire and a certain passion, to turn that off in moments when it matters most is hard.
Nice look. Tortobita looking for somebody. Finds himself alone and converts the layup. 6-6 tie, Doc Strange. Trying to turn the corner. Spins past Shupitsa. Took him on a round trip. 7-6 Shupitsa right back at you as he outmuscles Doc Strange. 6 to shoot. Majstorovic, chicken winged him. And Bordovicanin will get a rest. They've done a good job keeping Majstorovic bottled up for the most part. No easy looks from 2 range. And also some great defense on Strahinja.
Bordovicanin at the forefront of that. I like his defense so far.
This is going to be a physical Partizan team. Ruled off of Ub, and every player is contending that it should be their ball, but can't challenge it here with 4:29.
Yeah, as expected, a bunch of frustration with both teams. Out of bounds, whistles. It's been a very physical game.
Milivojevic. He'll get a warning for flopping.
They got the whole bingo card of warnings.
Something that the officials, again, are not going to tolerate. It's hard enough to call this game as it is without offensive shooters flailing and kicking legs and trying to sell a foul. Actually, technical assessed. They had already been warned earlier in the game, a delay of game warning. So that's why you see the technical free throw here from Majstorovic. That's good to go. 80% from the stripe last year. As Ub assume a 1-point lead. The Beast up to the Maestro. And he misses everything. Majstorovic having a tough go at it, as Ub have been unable to separate from Partizan. Milivojevic, here you got 2 muscle cars as Torbica puts one up. Big rebound inside, and Bordovicanin having some imprints on this game. Dead even, Bordovicanin trying to contest, and that shot from the Beast goes begging. Torbica, for some reason, tries to dribble through 2 defenders. Strange whips it out. This is a strange possession. This whole thing looked a mess, but it ends up being a bucket. Barac with the defense.
All of the emotions in this one. Players are just screaming, gesturing, anything, and it's such a low-scoring game, man. But I don't know about you, but I'm on the edge of my seat. This is a nail-biter.
I like it. It's a slugfest. Ub leading by 1 point.
Something to keep an eye on that I dug up in this lineup for Ub over the last 3 years. In tournaments they didn't play well, they didn't offensively rebound the basketball. I haven't seen them grab too many. Now, look, it's the first game. It's not saying much. But usually Barac gets at least 2 or 3 in the game.
Yeah, but I think they've been matched physically with this Partizan team. Look at the bigs. Shupitsa's a problem. Milivojevic to the crib, but he smoked the layup. And And the Gladiator's a little bit wired right now. He'll get a rest. He needs to woosah. Just take a breath.
Yeah, I think they have a strategy with him, though, because every time he shows frustration, his teammates tell him to take a seat on the bench.
Yeah. I saw one too many veins popping out that time.
That man's got veins on veins.
He just... Majstorovic. Oh, a rarity at the line. Maestro misses the first of two. Majstorovic, who just turned 37 a little over a week ago. He will connect on the second. A slim advantage for U. Nice look. And Badac will finish. Pizza. Ball screen. He's got Majstorovic sealed. That's a great play.
Yeah. Šupica's been sealing players under the basket. He's a big body. It's hard to get him away from that hoop.
Majstorovic is able to draw the foul. He connects with Torbica. That is the 10th on Partizan. 2 free throws and possession now coming up for U. 14 total events last year. Their worst finish was 8th. They had a winning percentage of over 70, so won 7 out of every 10 games all year long. Majstorovic is going to knock it down.
You want to hear something crazy?
What?
These 4 players over the last 3 years have won almost 82% of their games.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
That is.
Winningest player in 3x3 history. Splits another pair at the free throw line. Very un-Maestro-like at the strike. He'll take a 3-point lead to the top of the key. Ball fake from the Beast. Doc Strange. Maestro up fake. That's the cleanest look he's gotten all game. And yet it still does not fall. Quick clear from Partizan. They could use a 2-piece. Milivojevic inside. Torbica up fake. They continue to attack Majstorovic on the inside. Not a bad interior defender, but I think Partizan just a little too big. And Doc Strange is not in his groove. Has he scored?
Majstorovic?
Strahinja.
Oh, Strahinja. Maybe one at the start of the game. Not many anyways. And it's been this. It's Šupica and Torbica under the basket attacking both Strahinja and Majstorovic. I like the game plan for Partizan.
Well, it's been a dogfight. Just look at the fouls here. Zub have 9. Šupica lines it up and knocks it down and can even this game at 12 apiece with a make here. Šupica, no. U maintain a 1-point lead. 2:24 and counting left. Pool A action from Utsunomiya, Japan. Doc Strange getting tricky. Šupica not falling for it. Another lockdown defensive possession for Partizan. Milivojevic, the gladiator. What a finish with the left. So some finesse to go with that muscle. Brankovic right on time.
That's a big shot.
This is what he does. Milivojevic fires back. It's a misfire out of bounds. Brankovic goes tumbling.
I like it when you tumble to the floor and the first thing you do when you pop up is look at the referee.
It's like, yo, you didn't see it?
Mid-tumble, too.
Well, but you know, it's been a physical game.
Yep.
You know, so they're letting them play. I like it. Even Badac is complaining that he was grabbed, but they've been doing their share of grabbing too. All is fair in a matchup like this. 14-12. Partizan back on the attack. The Gladiator has it sent back. Bodovicanin eyes the 2-ball. Blah. Dead even. 14 up. Minute 20. Barac. He's going to get position on Utsunomiya and score. Milivojevic picks up his dribble. 6 to shoot. Utsunomiya. Not that time.
From our angle, it looked very good, but he missed everything.
They looked a little rushed in that entire possession. Timeout?
No, go ahead.
No, just timeout on the floor. They both get a chance to recharge here. We got a minute 3 to go in a 1-point game.
Look, I didn't mention my keys to this game, but one of the things I wrote down as preparing for this tournament, for this game, was containing the pick and roll. And I think UB, as well as Partizan, have been wonderful at containing the pick and roll. Milivojevic has not been able to get a pass through. And the lob passes to Barac, which usually work because he's so good at holding his position, they haven't been able to arrive. So both teams defensively are putting on a masterclass besides the fouling.
We don't get to enjoy a game like this that often, with UB and Partizan. Again, great point on defending that pick and roll. Both teams have done a great job at it. And Barac trying to bring out the horse shot. And then he's flashing his abs to a married woman. Hey.
Where's the Emma-Brady's at?
Cut that out, right? 15-14. And a defensive foul?
Offensive foul.
Offensive foul. Back up top. Stojic gets the step. Majstorovic, no. You don't often see a game like this from Majstorovic. He has not been in sync. Milivojevic, strong drive past Strahinja. 15-15. 28 seconds to go. Brankovic in the post office. He got some mail to deliver. Under 20 to go. Šupica now with position. And Majstorovic smartly decides not to foul. Neither team can afford a foul. At this point in the game, 10 seconds to go. It comes down to this. The world #1 with the rock in his hand. Doc Strange. Let's see what sorcery he has up his sleeve. Doc Strange off target. And we are going to overtime. Apropos for a game like this, it has been a tug of war between these Serbians, as the first team to score 2 points in OT will win it. But what a game.
What a game indeed. Look, again, on this final possession, Partizan defended the drive, defended the screen, defended the roll, and forced Stojic into a tough contested shot. I'm very impressed with both teams, actually, on the way they've played defense this game. Offense, it's been a grind.
No question about it. Gladiator sets up defensively, and Brankovic will get the possession started. Defending the 2-point arc is going to be top priority. How many times have we seen Majstorovic shine in moments like this? He'll give it up. Brankovic, up fake. He put the Gladiator down for the count. Brankovic, the beast, with the kill shot in OT. What a clutch bucket for Marko Brankovic. Don't you dare sleep on that man on this team.
Wow. That was a well-drawn-up final play with some misdirection, and Brankovic open with a slight advantage. That's why he got the Gladiator on his back foot, dropped him to the floor, and dropped off the game.
I got to see that move again. But that shows you how lethal that UB is. You know, they don't have to draw up a play specifically for one shooter. 1 through 4, they can give it to you. So Milivojevic, disappointed. He even gets a pat on the back from Coach Jadero for Team UB. An impressive game for Partizan, although it ends in a loss, as the #1 squad here in Utsunomiya find a way to get it done in OT. So 4 games in the books. We are just scratching the surface. We get a entertainment break But when we come back, we'll get to Pool D action, our second look at Amsterdam, RABOBANK against Vienna, in one of our marquee games of the day. But mark this one down. This is one we won't forget. One of the blockbusters. Definitely did not disappoint. Ooh, come out on top. Stick around. We're back in a bit.
さてこれまでの FIBA 3x3 ワールドツアー宇都宮オープナーお楽しみいただいておりますでしょうか。ではここでブレイクタイムです。 5446アベニューと和楽器集団ヤラクのコラボパフォーマンスです。三重県四日市市を拠点に活動する日本の太鼓を中心とした和楽器集団ヤラクと SNS 総フォロワー180万人、ニューヨークのアポロアマチュアナイトジャパン2019で優勝し、本場ニューヨークアポロシアターアマチュアナイトに出演した動画は YouTube で800万回再生を記録。日本の文化と革新的なスタイルを融合させた5446アベニューのオリジナルスタイルヒップホップアニメーションにご注目ください。 Here we go! Thank you for a special performance 55446 Avenue and 和楽器集団ヤラクスペシャルコラボパフォーマンス。いかがでしたでしょうか。スペシャルコラボパフォーマンス。さてここからはセッション2のゲームに参ります。準備が整い次第早速ゲームに入ってまいります。この後はいよいよ決勝トーナメント進出がかかるセッション2。なお本日のセッション2、また明日のチケット若干数まだ購入枠があるとのことでございます。ぜひサイトの方をチェックしてコートサイドシートをお求めください。
Yeah, about to set off session 2, day 1, FIBA World Tour over Utsunomiya. We got 8 more games on the slate, and after these 8 games, we're going to find out which 8 teams advance to the knockout round to the take place day 2. So coming up to set it off here. At 4:30, we got Team Amsterdam, RABOBANK versus Vienna. At 4:55 p.m., we got Miami versus Raudondvaris Hoptrans. 5:30 p.m., Team Toulouse versus RIBA. 5:55, we got Team U versus Team Liman. 6:30 p.m., Team Vienna versus Tennoz SCCEXC. 6:55 p.m., Raudondvaris Hoptrans versus Utsunomiya Shi. Then at 7:20 we got RIBA versus London. At 7:55 we got Liman versus Partizan.
Session 2、この後は残り8試合となります。日本の天王洲、そして宇都宮もこの後登場です。
And we are back and ready to roll. We get restarted with Pool D action, which began the day. Here's one of those games that we had marked down as one of the marquee matchups. Two teams that have rivaled over the last couple of years. Going back at it once again. Amsterdam found themselves in a nice little fight to start the day against Tennoz. Now they come back out in the red, the defending 2024 World Tour final winners with Martin Valconnect, Jan Big Drizzy, Dreesen, Medieval, Ryan Alberts, and Height, Worthy, Dion trying to go 2-0 and cruise into tomorrow's quarterfinals. Worthy with the new hairdo, but up to the same old things, leading his team to victory.
It was a balanced effort, though, in game one. He had 7 points, but Brian Alberts with 5, Jan Driessen with 5 was big underneath the basket. Did you peep that new intro song, though?
I did. Who is that?
Big X the Plug.
Oh, I didn't.
Safe to say I'm the biggest, the largest.
Oh, yeah, that's the one you played last week.
Yes, I did.
Did they borrow that from you?
No, I don't think so. I wish I could take credit for that, though.
Well, you're going to have to take credit for this Vienna team because you and Vince Chang were gushing over Vienna coming into this year. I don't think that they are a bad team by any stretch. I don't look at them in the top 3 teams, 3 or 4 teams yet. I'm curious to see how they perform in this one. Obviously, there's a little bit of history between these European rivals, but here they are with Nico, KTB, Kaltenbrunner, Enes Marathi, Tony Blazan, and Fabioso. Fabioso now, that is Team Vienna. Pool D action here for you. At first, I thought that this group would be maybe like the pool of death, but then I realized that one of the QD teams that played in this group.
Yeah, Tennoz is in here. But let me give you my pick on why Vienna is a team that I think could be good this year. I think they have a lot of untapped potential. Think about Fabio Sonel stepping into the game last year after years away from basketball, being an MMA fighter. Think about Blazan making the transition from 5-on-5 basketball last year. And think about Nico Kaltenbrunner improving every year, being only 25 years old. I think there's room for improvement with them. And I think that's one of the reasons why I picked them to go and improve on their results from last year.
Well, Kaltenbrunner, a top 25 ranked player. This squad played in 11 events last year, 2 Masters titles, first in Almaty. That's when Lenortner got injured with that Achilles injury. He's making his way back. Then they won in Wuxi. So, you know, they dealt with the injuries last year, losing Lenortner. They also dealt with Marathi being injured en route to that Europe Cup gold. So, you know, by most measures, they had a pretty good season. 7 top 5 finishes, 6 trips to the semifinals. You know, you would think that I'd be a bigger believer of this team coming in, but you look at some numbers that kind of validate why there are some questions about Vienna for those who may doubt the team.
Well, discounting the Europe Cup, this lineup specifically, these 4 players on the court have a winning percentage of 41. Oh, they've lost 7 games and won 5 games out of the 12 total that they played. So, and then, I mean, this is without the Europe Cup, right? So Europe Cup will kind of tilt that into a different direction. But 41% on the pro circuit is not great. Also, and this is a telling stat to me, I think they foul more than they get fouled. Foul differential to me is something you look at when you want to see how aggressive a team plays and how many times they get to the line. And, well, they get fouled on average less than they foul other teams.
And that's certainly not good in a matchup against Amsterdam, who get to the line the third, at least last year, got to the line the 3rd most times of any team in the league. They put pressure on you on the drive. And an early foul called on the burner, trying to stop Dreesen, who Boz mentioned, had 5 points in that opener. Big Drizzy with the Wilson from the left wing, moving right, hands it over to Medieval. Nowhere to go, inside, and well, Dreesen got the shot to go, but not.
It didn't count.
Didn't count because of the foul.
The matchup between these 2 teams has been a good one, though. They're almost tied, right? Amsterdam's got 5 wins. Vienna's got 4 wins over the last few years. So it's been a battle. That Wuxi Masters was a finals where Vienna won. They beat Amsterdam in the last game.
Yeah, there were flashes again last year where they looked good. Fabioso, 2-piece. I want to see Sonel, obviously here in the 2nd season. You know, his full body of work. You know, starting the year, fully invested and engaged in 3x3. You know, they had the off season now, and you know he trended upward last year. He definitely trended upward.
He had a 14-point explosion late in the season. Remember?
Yeah, of course I do. Those games don't come around too often. Hype worthy. He's a unicorn these days. The face of the league. No face time that time. Worthy bottled up in the corner. Get it over to Alberts. Alberts cross, right, left. Drives left, fades away, and got his lunch packed. Fabio Sonel, great timing. That is one thing that you can count on from Sonel. The offense has been, you know, kind of up and down, but the defense is always there. Worthy trying to explain himself to official Veshko, and he ain't hearing it. Ball back over to Vienna. Worthy with the quick hands. And Worthy's going to get a warning. He felt like he got fouled. So Worthy got to maintain his composure, settle in. Vienna back in control. 9 to shoot. Kaltenbrunner wastes no time. It's a misfire. Balconnect snuffs out the rebound. Height from the logo. Height. So Nell in defense. Worthy got him on an island. Cross up. Oh, the bucket will not count. He does get the whistle that time, but no continuation on the shot. Foul on the floor. Called on Sonell. It is the 4th on Vienna.
4 early fouls. That means Vienna is having a tough time guarding Amsterdam here.
Big Drizzy on the drive. And he cannot convert it. Kaltenbrunner trying to creep around Balconnect. And Balconnect gets called for the blocking foul. Marati getting a rest. KTB. Driving left. Got the size advantage on Alberts. Can't get the hook to go. They'll get reset. Offensive rebound. Gives Vienna another shot at it. And that shot is blown. Travel called on Kaltenbrunner. MVP of the Europe Cup last year. And still a youthful 3x3 talent. He'll watch on from the bench as Amsterdam have control. Another whistle, and guess who? Vienna caught fouling again.
Another one.
Is it just season opener nerves or what?
I'm not sure, but it's 5 fouls early. It's going to be tough to play through for the rest of the game.
Foul connect, no good. Kaltenbrunner whips it over. Marati to the crib. 2-point lead for Vienna. Game number 5 of 12, day 1. This is the season opener in Utsunomiya. Kyle Montgomery, a.k.a. The Voice. Boz Rosendahl, a.k.a. The Mountain, on the mic with you. Blazon fires, and he'll get reloaded. Off the miss, Alberts, pump fake, 2, let go, and off the iron it goes. So the offense for both teams leaving some to be desired. Blazon, jump hook, back iron, Balconnect. A lot of attention being played to Balconnect and how he contributes. Obviously played spot duty with the team last year, but now going to be a mainstay. After the bucket, he's going to foul Blazon. Timeout on the floor in a 3-3 tie. Am I allowed to sing this song? It is Mace and
Faith Evans?
and Baby Oil. Now, who rock, who not? Tell me who sell out. Man, do you remember that back in the day, Bob?
I do.
Yeah.
That was a great era of music.
Indeed. Back to the action. In front of the Futa Arayama Shrine here in Utsunomiya. Marati. 2-piece combo. Big Drizzy runs into trouble. And yeah, you can see him anticipating the contact from Kaltenbrunner, and he drug the pivot foot. Easy travel call. Marati up top. You do see that ball sticking a little bit more in Vienna's offense. It doesn't move as quickly.
Look, I think Kaltenbrunner in this iteration of the squad needs to be the main creator, right? He can get to the basket. He's a wide body, and he can finish around the rim. With no Quincy Diggs on the roster for now, he's going to have to step up and take a bigger role, and that should make the offense run smooth. But don't discredit this Team Amsterdam's defense, though.
Yeah, they haven't had that game breaker. There's Big Drizzy with a little poke. So now left alone, and he will knock down his second double dip. De Jong with Marathi. Pulls the 2, back iron. Blazon nearly turned it over. Worthy is down. Marathi puts it up, and it goes down. Vienna is leading this game 9-4 with a trio of twos. A couple from Sonel, and now Marathi getting in on the yak.
Look, Worthy was on the floor complaining about a call, and that left Jan Driessen on an island against 2 players on offense.
But again, I kind of told you, again, in our podcast, Word on the Streets, replace the E's with 3s, check it out, that I was a little concerned about the nonchalant kind of demeanor through my eyes with Amsterdam coming into this year. They won the World Tour final last year. They're still a great team. But I want to see the dog in them. I don't want to see the complaining. I don't want to, I want to see them going 100 miles an hour from start to finish. And they won game 1. So now, oh, what a move. 4-point lead for the Austrians. Worthy going to work on Kaltenbrunner. One-legged fader is a no-go. KTB has it broken up. Height. 2-piece. Makes it a 2-point game. Almost halfway through.
Well, there's that 8th foul.
There's that last 2-piece from Worthy De Jong, the reigning league MVP.
He needed one of those to go down because he didn't have a lot of room for his creativity on offense if they don't close out on him on his shots. This is going to give him room to operate.
Worthy, 30% from 2 range last year. Foul connect. Off target on his first of 2 free throws. Vienna's foul issues, a big storyline early in this game. And with 5 minutes to play, their defense could be the cause of them potentially losing this if they don't settle down. So now with a heat check, and he's going to get a warning. There was a lot of extracurriculars after that shot attempt.
Yeah, true.
He was a fighter, right? He wasn't a soccer player, was he?
Sometimes you got to show a foul.
All those theatrics. De Jong cannot finish with the right on the left side. Quickly up top to Nico. And the 3rd foul on Amsterdam. Back up top with Marathi. Up top. Sonel. That one scratches the iron. Worthy, no hesitation, just hydration. H2O, water from the left wing. Burner gives it up. Marathi, nice fake. Got it off in time. Driessen will tip it back out to Height. Target practice right between the eyes of Kaltenbrunner. 13-10 Amsterdam. Marathi right back at you. Now Worthy gives it up. Uh-oh, miscommunication with Alberts. Turnover. Foul red. But this game has turned into a shootout, at least the last couple of possessions. First Worthy and then Marathi. So back and forth we go in the 13-12 game.
Yeah, and it was Sonel for Vienna early with 5 points out of their 10 to start this game, but he's been cold on his last 2 attempts. What is interesting, though, is the fact that they're running pick and pops for him. So they have the trust in him shooting that shot, whereas last year you saw him roll to the basket every single time.
Well, he's proven the ability to be able to knock him down. He's not a guy I would want to leave open. It's the contested 2s that I wouldn't want him taking. We are back to business. Marathi Alberts not giving them any room to breathe. Suffocating defense, it won't matter anyway. Take him off the to-do list. Moratti getting to it. Balkanek now up top. Big Drizzy! Nice finish. I thought he might yam that thing.
Yep.
Lazan takes his time. 14 up. This matchup is playing out exactly how we thought it would. Again, in the last 9 meetings, 5-4 in terms of the win column.
Well, it's a 5th foul in Amsterdam there.
3:12 to go. No worries about being in the penalty yet for the Dutch. Vienna already there. They've got to be the sharper defensive team the rest of the way. The sharp shooting, however, from Moratti does not continue. He will miss, but a whistle on the inside is the 6th on Amsterdam.
Yeah, they keep racking up silly fouls in this stage of the game, but I get it. You'd rather take a foul than have Vienna break the tie here.
So now the man with the hot hand. Moratti from the logo, all net.
But not wet?
Yeah, but not wet. That's not the type of all net shot that you want. But he just didn't have any legs in the shot. That's why he's getting a rest right now. Height up top, Bazan. Good on-ball defender against a great offensive creator. Worthy. Tracks down the miss. Height up top, Driesen. 8 to shoot, no need to panic here for Amsterdam. Balkanek with Sonel on his hip. Patient offense from Amsterdam.
That's great patience, keeping this defender on his back, making sure it's a 2-on-1.
Savvy play there from Balkanek. Not good defensively, however. Left his feet, and that's light work for Kaltenbrunner. Balkanek will fire it out of bounds. Driesen, what a save. To Worthy in the corner. Worthy continues to finish what he started. Got to get a body on him after he releases a shot.
I like how Worthy is finding ways to make his offense flow. Look, he hasn't been able to go to the basket at will because Vienna's been very tough defensively. But on missed shots, he's tracked down his loose balls, gotten extra opportunities and extra possessions for his team.
Worthy, a 78% free throw shooter. And his MVP 2024 season, 7.2 points per game, tied for #1 in the league with Stefan Kojic for any player with more than 5 events played. Also 4 rebounds per game. He can fill it up. He puts Amsterdam up 17-15. Moratti going east to west. Nico, no go that time. And another rebound here for Worthy. Alberts has been quiet. And he will remain that way.
I don't know if Sonel's the type of defender I'd pick my spots against. If being Alberts, you want to get going against another guy in the squad, maybe Moratti. All 4 of these Vienna guys, though, very good defenders.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You have to pick somebody, right?
Yeah, pick your battles. He hasn't got many clean looks in this one. Fortunately for Amsterdam, they've gotten a great day from Jan Driesen to kind of compliment Worthy. Balkanek's played pretty well. He had his spurts in game 1. And the result to this point, a 2-point game. Minute 43 left. Pool D action, the last one of the day in Pool D. Oh, second to last. My bad. Nice play design to get Moratti a clean look. The battle for the board. Uh-oh, Sonel gets whistled for the 9th foul.
That's the 10th.
Oh, is it the 10th? You're right. And that is double trouble for Vienna. That means 2 free throws and possession for Amsterdam, who already have a 2-point lead. Jan Driesen, the most experienced 3x3er on this Amsterdam team will miss on the first of two. Second is the same. Possession, though, still with Amsterdam. As Worthy will try to make up. Uh-oh. Lost the handle on it. Bow connect. The connect. The connect. Left to right. So now locked him up. Handcuffed him again. Like you just said.
They're going to challenge this. And I think it might have touched the rim going in underneath the basket.
Well, official Talasainen and Vescovic are discussing. They want to get a closer look at it. But Sonell's not the one, like you said, to attack. That was a tough shot attempt for Balconnect. We'll see if it did touch the rim. If it did, that obviously would not be a shot clock violation. Oh,
I think it touched the rim there.
yeah, well, off the deflection, right?
See? It depends on whether the net got in the way or not. We can see these same images now that the replay center is showing referee Vescovic, which I love, which is nice.
You got a better angle than me. I'm trying to lean over on your shoulder.
So I'll move out of the way.
No, I
worries.
just trust your judgment. I trust your judgment on it.
That's all right, man. At your age, you might need some reading glasses.
Oh, the shot's being fired again. All right, that's the second one. I'll let you get away with, Bonds. I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm going to bust back here in a few.
Once again, the winner of the WT Utsunomiya Opener will take home
So it looks like official Veshko has made a decision.
And the results are in.
And I believe I heard him say red ball.
Yes. Fresh 12 for Amsterdam.
So it did, touched the rim.
It's Amsterdam ball.
Amsterdam ball. Vienna can't foul. Expect an attack to the rack. Well, never mind. Worthy does what he wants. And he's got a free license to do so with shots like that. Height can't go 2 for 2. But that last double dip made it a 4-point game. Marathi cannot respond. 1 under a minute to go. MVP Worthy. Hands it over to Balconnect. Balconnect, step back, up fake, and got Blazon off his feet, draws the foul.
It's a smart play on Balconnect. Not a lot of space for him, but he gets Blazon up at his feet. But look at Worthy, just deciding that it might be just his game.
Silly.
Pulls up out of nowhere.
I was talking about the foul situation. I thought for sure they would attack the basket. And Worthy just casually jogs out to the 2-point line. A turnaround two-piece.
1 or 2 for Balconnect from the line.
2015
Amsterdam on the brink of a 2-0 start. And the top seed out of Pool D. All they need is 1 bucket. And Balconnect can't convert the reverse. Uh-oh. You're not going to get away with that one.
It's a good contest by Worthy. Looked like an open look from Murati.
You know, you see players all the time when they get caught, like leaving their feet, and it's being contested. Why is that not illegal?
I'm not sure.
Height, Worthy, no. So now, takeoff reverse. So now, deep in his bag in this game. We've seen the 2-point shooting. Now we see the trampolinas from Fabioso. 17 seconds left. Pretty much a done deal.
Yeah, time's running out on Vienna here. Amsterdam has the ball as well. Fouling is not an option because Vienna is in the double penalty. It looks like they're drawing dead in this game.
It will take a monumental collapse and a boatload of luck for Vienna to, you know, win this game, even tie this game. With Amsterdam in possession of the rock. Here we go. They're going to use some clock. Worthy. 2. medieval times. Game over. Amsterdam 21, Vienna 16. As the Dutch will head back to the telly 2-0. And Vienna will have one game remaining against Tennoz to decide number 2 out of the group. So this one favors Amsterdam. Close competition throughout. Worthy with some heroics down the stretch. And solid performances from Driesen and Balkanek. As again, Amsterdam will go 2-0.
Yeah, good start to the tournament for them, and it was Worthy putting him on his back. He couldn't get to the basket. We've seen him get to the basket at will in the past. It didn't work this time against that tough Vienna defense, but his two-point shooting really unlocked something for this squad.
Not bad to have that kind of a bag where you can turn to different forms of attack based off of what your team might need at that given moment. We saw that in this one. Saw some complaining early. And once they got rid of that, focused in, Amsterdam were able to outlast Vienna. Next action coming up, Pool C, Miami against Raudondvaris Hoptrans. Miami was a highlight machine in the opener. They might own all the top plays today.
Yes.
We're going to see how they match up against a much tougher opponent in Raudondvaris Hoptrans, as the Lithuanians will see their first action on the World Tour in 2025. Coming up next from Utsunomiya. Man, I'm getting hungry. Oh.
Coming up next, we got Team Miami from United States of America versus Raudondvaris Hoptrans from Lithuania. And now, representing Team Miami, number 5, Henry Caruso.
All right. Out come Miami, who, in my opinion, they're the most impressive team I've seen today, just in the way that they got to their work. Mitch Hahn leading the team in scoring was incredible in that opener with 8 points to lead the way. Parrott and Caruso both with 5, Dylan Travis with 3. So a well-rounded performance from a team that is developing chemistry with a new ad, Caruso, and the nice new uniforms. Team Miami defending their Utsunomiya crown from 2024.
Can you believe they only hit 1-2 on their way to that victory?
That is shocking. Now, this is the team that we probably should have been talking about more in the offseason. That's my bad. Raudondvaris Hoptrans, man.
I picked him in my top 5.
You did pick him in your Power 5. They finished just outside of my Power 5 this year. But I may be changing some of my predictions, because I think that this team has all the components to be in the top 3. I'm talking about right up there with the Oobs, the Miamis, of course, the Amsterdams. Raudondvaris Hoptrans are fully loaded again with Aurelius Pukelis back in the fold. Evaldis Jalgis, who had an incredible end to 2024. He averaged 9 points a game. Of course, they got flight mode. Modestas Kumpis, the 2 leading rebounders, in fact, in the league last year. He and Jalgis. And Sharunis Vingelis.
Yeah, I like the makeup of their team. And look, they stayed with the same players they played with last year. Now, to me, the question is, how can you get the Valas Jalgis you had at the end of last year, those 3 tournaments in which you almost averaged 10 points per game, mesh that with Aurelius Pukelis? If they can get that going, as well as, and I might have mentioned this on our podcast, I need them to change their mindset a little bit. They usually try to play as underdogs. Then they come into tournaments, you know, not always thinking they're the best team in the tournament, whereas I think, maybe not this one, but in a lot of Masters they play, they should be considering that they should win. They should come in with the mentality to get the first spot,
exactly,
and deserve that first spot.
Exactly. I think if they can flip that switch, as we get a look at the Lithuanian, he is unlike most other players in the league. He is ranked number 12 in the world. And his stat line last year was just crazy, right? In 7 events, it was monstrous. 7.5 points per game, 4 rebounds, 77% from 1, 35% from 2 land, and 86% from the free throw line.
Yeah, that's freakish, man.
If he plays those last 3 events, he missed those events, obviously, for a legitimate reason. He welcomed his firstborn. So, you know, he went home to welcome his child to the world. And, you know, that takes top priority. But I can only imagine what they might have done at the World Tour Final had he been available. And you mentioned something interesting. Jalgis elevated his game largely in part because Pukelis wasn't there. Can those two dominate together? I think is the question. But they're the 2 most gifted offensive players on this team. Vangelis will play his role, Kumpis will play his role, but is their 1-2 punch enough? That's the question that is begging as they enter 2025 and we enter this Pool C action. I'm the voice of 3x3, Kyle Montgomery, in your ear with the Mountain. Bas Rosendahl, and there's a sure shot from Sharunas Vangelis to get the scoring started for Raudondvaris. Henry Caruso denied. Vangelis, a strong interior defender. Don't let the size fool you. There's the big boys battling, and he hit him with the shoulder fake. Did Pukelis, scoring it over Hahn. He'll drop it off to the real deal. Travis will misfire from 2 land. Hahn will snag the rebound, crossover, baseline drive, and a foul call on Aurelius. But you want to talk about a dunk fest in game 1 for Miami. James Parrott delivered the sickest dunk that I've seen maybe ever in 3x3. It's up there.
It's up there.
It's up.
It's up there. But look, you know, not to throw it back to last year, but he did catch somebody.
What year you talking about on
Wes Moulton?
Yo, nah, this one was worse. He took off outside of the block, fully extended, and literally took a man's basketball life from him, right in front of us. It was horrible. Anyway, I don't know if he's going to be able to climb the mountain inside with Pukelis in this game. We'll see.
Yeah, this game should be a little bit tougher than that matchup against Utsunomiya Brexaxi.
Again, 3 Masters titles for Miami last year. As Parrott will take off, and he flies private. So the two of the top dunkers in flight mode and Parrott as Pukelis gets the bucket on the inside. So there's Parrott flying past flight mode.
I'm about to say flight mode has caught some bodies on his own.
Oh, for sure. He's had some vicious ones too. He actually led the World Tour in rebounds last year. Odestas Kumpis as Pukelis connects at the line. One thing Raudondvaris did not do well last year was shoot the 2. 27% from the great beyond.
Yeah, and they don't shoot many of them. They only shoot a 2 on about 39% of their shots, where usually teams are right around that 50% mark.
I like the looks of Vangelis here early. He's hit a second mid-range jumper. Parrott runs into trouble. He takes it at Evel Knievel, and he will miss it short. Jalgis, I think he's going to win the push-up contest between those two. As he out-muscles Parrott for the bucket. 6-1 start for Raudondvaris. Travis no good. Vangelis to his hot spot. Pukelis plows over Parrott. But a 6-1 beginning here for Raudondvaris in a game with contrasting styles.
Yeah, and usually those contrasting styles are not in favor of Raudondvaris, who like to play a slower pace. This Miami squad beat him on 7 out of 8 tries in games they played against each other. And Hahn again with the smash.
Fully extended. 6-2, and the scoop is a no-go. Hahn, no good.
Yeah, the 2-ball's not working for Miami right now. We've seen Hahn miss a couple, Travis miss a couple. I like their aggressiveness, but you need to get one to go down at some point if you want to be in this game.
Is that a Statue of Liberty dunk? Not quite.
Not quite, but close. What's the biggest statue in Oman?
That's a great question. We got to travel, apparently up top. Changes the possession over to Miami. The Americans against the Lithuanians. I got a chance to spend some time out there in Lithuania. Had a good time.
It's a nice country. I was there last year for the Mayo and Machiskaite wedding.
Yeah,
that was nice.
So I've been to Vilnius and Kaunas.
I've been to Kaunas. Actually won a challenger there one day.
Did you?
Way back when.
Oh, no, I remember you told me about that one.
Yeah.
Caruso. He will connect at the stripe. A whistle. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Second foul on Miami. So Raudondvaris, 2024, they qualified for 10 regular season Masters and continue to impress. Winning in Marseille, runners-up in Lausanne, semifinalists in Shenzhen, Abu Dhabi, Amsterdam, Ulaanbaatar, and Hong Kong. Parrott strikes iron, nothing more. Jalgis decides to not use the screen, instead attacks Parrott. Bodies flying everywhere. Out to flight mode. Kumpis on the attack. Yammage.
A lot of people have gotten loose for some yams now in this tournament. I like it.
Well, when he turned that corner and he saw daylight, I knew he was going to put that down. Even if somebody was at the rim. 7-4. Hahn gets back to it. Travis fading away. Nothing but you know what from the real deal.
I like Travis's aggression in this game. First game, he only took 3 shots, made all 3 of them.
Yeah.
And he's been trying to shoot from distance. This is the Dylan Travis we'd like to see. Not just the defense, not just the hustle, but the offensive a player of years past.
And that release is so pretty. The slight kind of fade. There's the throwdown from flight mode as he gets a little payback on Parrott, who kind of did the same to him earlier in the contest. So the two athletic marvels have both gotten punches in this one. Timeout on the floor. And a much more even matchup for Miami in this one. After they topped Utsunomiya Brex in their first contest in a 6-point victory. Evel Knievel. Vingelis drops it off. Evel Knievel. Cotton soft touch on the inside. Travis looking for somebody to cut. He'll get it over to Hahn. Big Cindy. Count it.
Big bucket.
So Hahn staying focused. You know, this matchup with him and Pukelis, I think, is going to be the deciding matchup in the game.
It should be. And I watched back some of their games of past times, and what you usually saw is Miami come on the court with 2 real shooters. And that's not to discredit the 4 guys on the court now, but I'd say Trey Bardsley is probably a better shooter than you know, Travis, Parrott, or Caruso.
Yes.
Those two shooters would disrupt Raudondvaris' defense to a point that Miami kept running away early with the game. This game, a whole different look. Raudondvaris, the one that comes out early, hits some shots, gets up. I'll try to see if they can hold on to that, well, not lead, but now tie.
8-8. And Parrott, no argument there as he gets whistled. Raudondvaris swing it left to start. Vangelis, who's been playing great, yet Travis off balance, but did not measure the shot. It's Parrott up top to Caruso, to the real deal. Travis, drive, kick, Parrott, splash.
This is what he added last year, right? A more consistent two-point shot.
Leaves his feet. Vangelis kind of forces that one up. Caruso will let Travis start to facilitate this offense. Parrott going back to back like a Drake track. 2 twos in a row for Air Parrott. Kumpis with the stop and go to the crib. That time, Parrott can't get it to go. Caruso falling away, and around and down it goes. Jalgis almost unstoppable on the drive. I mean,
when he turns this shoulder, when he spins on you, you're pretty much cooked.
Forget about it. Parrott. So he's missed his last couple after making 2 in a row. It remains a 3-point game. Oh my goodness. Blocking foul caught on Dylan Travis, and he actually says good call. After he just got punished. You remember how the WWE wrestlers used to fall on the mat after getting clotheslined?
Yep.
That's what that looked like.
Well, this is a lot harder surface than that mat, I'll tell you.
Travis as tough as they come, no. Bukalis will feed it inside. Out to flight mode. Kumpis, not that time. Gets it back, drops it off. Jalkis. He just does so much damage within 5 feet of the rim. Hahn now. He's got Bukalis on an island. He's got him dancing. And then what you looking at me for, Big Cindy? He splashes the 2 and looks at me like I'm Bukalis. Hahn over to Travis. Uh-oh. Nearly fumbled it. Instead, the real deal. 4th shot. Hahn can't save it. It'll go over to Raudondvaris. And I remind you, Raudondvaris started this game up 6-1. It was 6-1. Since then, a 14-5 run by Miami.
Yeah, and I think Raudondvaris always plays at the same pace, right? They score, not in bunches, but they score consistently. Miami can score in bunches. They can go off for 5, 6 in a row like we saw a couple minutes ago.
James Parrott being pursued by Evel Knievel. And a warning for Black for behavior. And you can probably hear the wind starting to pick up on the microphone. And the temperatures somewhat dipping. But a competitive game as Miami eye a 2-0 record. It's turned up here in front of the Futa Arayama Shrine here in Utsunomiya for the World Tour Opener, season number 14. Always a good vibe, good atmosphere. There's a reason why we've had the opener here in this city 4 straight years now. As we get back to the action, 15-12 and 3:45 to go. Miami in the driver's seat. Bukalis on the drive, jump hook, not happening as Parrott He will come away with the rebound over to Travis. Travis moving right, hands it over to Mitch Hahn. Hahn on the move, step back. Mitch.
Oh, big rebound.
Miss. Yeah, that's the effort of Travis. Parrott tried the sneaky link. And then Hahn gets caught grabbing Jalgis.
Oh, a technical foul now. Raudondvaris complaining again.
Got to get out of their own way. Up top, Kumpis will get it going. Bukalis, he can shoot those. Travis Wright to close out on him. Jalgis, not the most dependable two-point shooter on the team as he sees that one go amiss. Caruso with the fake. Uh-oh. Caruso all alone. He got plenty of bounce. Nothing Caruso could do there but foul.
That is foul number 7, though.
Uh-oh. 2 free throws upcoming for Raudondvaris. Another look at the Caruso getting bouncy with it. As Bukalis, an 86% free throw shooter from a year ago, is up to the line. Bukalis. It'll trickle in. 2:54 officially left on the game clock in this Pool C confrontation. Anybody's game here while Miami hold on to a 2-point lead. Parrott with the Wilson in hand. Caruso. Oh, nice fake. He had Bukalis lost in the abyss.
I think this is what Caruso can bring. Take a look. Slight hesitation, spins off, just enough room for an easy dunk, but he can bring a little bit of individual creation to this squad.
Agreed.
They usually only have that from Parrott.
Agreed. Action just like that. Bukalis continues his hot streak. He is absolute money from mid-range. Hahn, he sees baby food. Rocked him to sleep. Puts Miami up 18-15. Uh-oh, Bukalis, that is going to be a travel. Great defensive effort there from Caruso.
Yeah, you saw he didn't want to turn to his left hand, but look back at Mitch. Spin cycle, huh?
Took him on a round trip. Dropped him off. Hahn continuing to play well for Miami.
They need that out of him, though. I think we talked about this in the past. I think he has the personality as well as the game to be the alpha on the squad, to lead them in scoring as well as emotionally. So I've seen that from him today. That's good.
Yeah, nice start. And I think he's hearing some of the respect that he's now getting in circles around the league. You know, they hear some of the talk. They read some of the blogs. Some of the conversations, and he's like, okay. I think that's kind of giving him the confidence to kind of take that step forward, too. Air, Parrott. Oh, what a downshift. He knows how to use the clutch, don't he? Spin on the inside, Jalgis.
Oh, no clear challenge. That's smart.
That could wipe away that previous bucket.
The downshift, though, you're right.
Parrott's
Put
got
the brakes
that.
on.
Yeah, Parrott's got that in his game. We've seen him obviously beeline to the rim and absolutely embarrass people when he leaves his feet. But he, for defenders sticking with him, he can downshift, score with either hand.
He can finish left and right. And that's huge, especially hanging in the air, getting hit.
Now, closer look. That's clear.
It looks like it is.
That
clear,
looks clear. That bucket will count. At least from what I saw. Just 1 foot clearly beyond that 2-point arc. The other foot was lifted, so I think that's good. It is good.
It is. Challenge lost.
Both teams in the penalty, by the way, with 2 minutes to go. Miami with 2 points to go. Parrott will get a look, catch, shoot, and it's missed. Kumpis out to Jalgis. Jalgis wants a try from Tulane. Parrott skies over everybody, and a jump ball. So
that might be Raudondvaris possession in this case. Defensive team gets it, so whoever has control here, and it seems like Parrott has control. Yeah, that will be Raudondvaris possession.
So for Raudondvaris, they don't have to have a 2 here. They do want a scoring possession, which will make it a 1 possession game. Flight mode, take off, and throw down. Han is looking good today. He's handsome. Miami win it. 21-17, he caps another performance worthy of praise. Mitch Han in Miami, 2-0 as they hand Raudondvaris their first loss of the new season. And they'll have 1 left on the schedule, Raudondvaris that is, against Utsunomiya. But here we go again. The defending Utsunomiya champs come out of a nice fight with Raudondvaris on top thanks to Big Senny, who's getting some love there from Team Riffa on his way off the court. So highlights for you to enjoy. A more business-like approach for Miami in this one. So not a whole lot of highlights, although they did still have a few, but enough to get the job done as they outlast Raudondvaris.
OK、ショータイムブレイク。では、この時間、この